right, we're back for game number 2 of the NBA Finals, our predictions and best bets. Game 1, I mean, again, I keep saying it, Pacers money line. What happens again? We cash at plus 400 something, plus 460, I believe it was. My goodness, I mean, we had full series Pacers victory at plus 580. We're on fire right now, all right? The Pacers are up 1-0, and Tyrese Halliburton continues to do the damn thing. The guy is a superstar. He's a top 10 player in the sport of basketball. He's elite, and the Indiana Pacers steal game 1 in Oklahoma City. And I think that makes, I don't know, I feel like they have a better chance of winning game 2. We'll get to that in a few moments here, folks, but before we get into the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more daily, or I guess every game here, the NBA Finals predictions. Again, who told you the Pacers were winning the Finals months ago? Who told you this was going to be the NBA Finals back in January? I was pondering with the Lakers some, but I told you the Pacers were coming out the East. I've been saying this for months, and here we are. And now they've won game 1 of the NBA Finals. They had the lead for 0.3 seconds on Friday night, and they win. So Thursday night. And they win. So, yeah. Also here on the channel, daily MLB best bet, 6 a.m. Pacific, 9 a.m. Eastern. If you're watching this video before UFC 316, our predictions for that card's out. Merab Dvalishvili and Sugar Sean O'Malley on Greedo Plays MMA. Go subscribe to that channel. That is linked in the description down below. Okay, so game 2, Indiana, they only won by 1 point, they only had the lead for 0.3 seconds. They needed that miraculous comeback to win. Game 2, Oklahoma City back at home. Yeah, they should get it, honestly, guys. So I'm gonna go with the Indiana Pacers again. We're taking Indiana one more time, guys. I said at the beginning of the series, I'm not gonna take the Pacers in every single game. I'm still not planning on doing that, but I gotta take them here. I have to, because we're looking at the way Indiana has played throughout the course of the postseason so far. Okay. Primarily look at the 2 series where they had to go on the road and win, Cleveland and New York. Game 1, Indiana shocks Cleveland, right? They beat the Cavs in game 1. They then go on to beat them again in game number 2. And game 2 obviously was the big Halliburton moment. New York, game 1, they had the miraculous comeback, right? Nesmith hits his 6 3-pointers. Hallie hits the game-tying shot. They win the game in overtime. And then game 2 rolls around, Indiana beats them again. So we've seen this pattern before. Pacers big underdogs on the road in game 1 against Cleveland and New York. They come back, they win game 2. They use the momentum that they get in game 1 and just parlay that into another victory. I think the game 1 victory, it makes them so dangerous, man. It really does. And watching that basketball game, and you're thinking, all right, if Indiana can just get back in it, I was at the point where I was just like, all right, I just need them to cover 10, and let's see if they can close the gap in the 4th quarter. The thing is, Indiana, guys, and this is why Oklahoma City should be concerned, okay? And I will break down the game essentially in a second here, but the Indiana Pacers played one of their worst games of the playoffs. I would say it's probably their worst game as a whole. They turned the ball over 20 times in the game, in the first half, 20 times in one half. And they went into halftime, and it's like, all right, they're down 13 points, but they're only down 13 points. They're only down 12 points. And you turn the ball over 20 times. Now, the big stat everyone's bringing up is, OKC only scored 8 points off the 21st half turnovers from Indiana, which is bad, don't get me wrong, but I think that just makes Indiana so much more dangerous. They play that shitty in the first half, and really the second half they were much better, obviously, and the second half felt like an Indiana Pacers basketball game. The first half sure as hell did not, but they got away with playing that poorly in the first half, and they still won. They only needed to make one run in the game, and that was with 4 minutes to go. They put pedal to the metal, and obviously Indiana wins it. I got to give a lot of credit right off the bat to Obi Toppin. The Pacers don't win that basketball game if it's not for Obi. I understand he had a god-awful first half in terms of, turning the ball over. Obi threw the ball past backcourt twice, turned the ball over 3 times in the first half. But Obi Toppin goes 5 for 8 from the 3-point line, and I'm telling you again, the Pacers don't win that game if it's not for Obi Toppin. Really, if any of these guys on this team, this 10-man rotation, don't do their job, they don't win the basketball game. I mean, Tyrese Halliburton, again, I've been singing the praises for Tyrese Halliburton this entire postseason and entire season. I said it at the beginning of the year, and I said this when he was going through a slump. I remember when he had that game in Sacramento where he didn't score a single point. I was like, all right, well, again, Halliburton's still injured. He did not get time to recover last offseason. He played last postseason hurt, obviously. Didn't get to play games 3 and 4 against Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals. Played on Team USA. Never got to really, recover. He didn't sit out Team USA like Kawhi Leonard did. And Halliburton goes straight into another season. He's playing hurt. He's healthy now, and look at the guy, And obviously, Andrew Nembhard, I mean, the Pacers, again, don't win that game if he doesn't hit that step-back three on Gilgeous-Alexander. I mean, the game's on the line. You're down by 6 with 2 minutes to go. Nembhard ISOs Shea, step backs, and drains a three in his face against his Team Canada teammate in SGA. Miles Turner hits the bank three. I don't know if he was trying to do that, but sure, you know. Pascal Siakam at the end of the game grabbing rebounds. And there's a lot we need to talk about. The first I will say, though, again, I think Indiana's going to win this basketball game again. Vegas is giving them no respect, and we have to look at this from a momentum standpoint, guys. The Indiana Pacers trailed every single minute of game number 1 until the final 0.3 seconds. All the momentum's on Indiana's side. We've seen this in the Cleveland series, and we've seen this in the New York series as well. So every single ounce of momentum goes towards the Indiana Pacers, okay? So they are going to be hot coming out the gates in game number 2. I almost guarantee it. The second major factor we need to talk about is how Indiana approached Oklahoma City defensively. And going into the series, I thought Indiana was going to approach it like Denver did. Take the ball out of SGA's hands, double SGA, and force somebody else to beat you. The Pacers didn't do that. The Pacers said, all right, for the most part. And there are some things I think Carlisle is going to touch up on, and this is why I think Indiana is going to win game 2 as well. Obviously, again, there were spots where SGA, and there's nobody better in basketball at doing this. SGA, he'll blow by you, obviously. You'll get the guy out the corner, at least for Indiana. The corner defender, which is usually Tyrese, Tyrese will play help defense, boom, kick, Lou Dort, corner 3, the high arcing 3 where Lou Dort hit 5 times in game number 1. But other than Lou Dort, which I think, again, Rick Carlisle, that's an easy adjustment. Just make sure, again, if you're Indiana, take your chances with an SGA mid-range shot. He's going to hit it 9 times out of 10. But if Lou Dort shooting the 3 ball like he has been doing, or like he did in game number 1 of the NBA Finals, I get it. He was like a 30% 3-point shooter so far in the postseason. But if he shoots that 3 like he did in game number 1, you don't want to leave that guy open. He was automatic. So the way that Indiana's approaching it is like how Dallas approached Oklahoma City last year when the Dallas Mavericks obviously beat the Oklahoma City Thunder in the second round of the playoffs. Just leave Shea one-on-one. Yeah, let SGA take as many points as possible, or let him take as many shots as possible. Let him put up 38 points like he did in game number 1, and let SGA play hero ball. He's great. He's the best player in basketball, but he's not going to kill you from the 3-point line. He went 3 for 6 in game number 1. That's great, obviously, but he's not going to constantly shoot that shot. SGA is trying to work the ball inside. SGA is going to try to go up with it. He's going to try to fade. He's going to try to hit that mid-range shot. He's great. He's the best in the NBA at doing so, and he's almost unguardable at times, sure. But against the Pacers, that's not really going to kill you, though. The way they shoot the ball and as many three-pointers as they take, 40 three-pointers in game number 1, yeah, that's not really going to hurt Indiana that much. Yeah, SGA is going to score, but if you limit what J-Dub's able to do, what Lou Dort's able to do, hell, Chet's not a factor shooting the 3-point ball, you're really fine. And Oklahoma City made the adjustment. This is going to bring me to my next point in terms of the no big lineup that OKC played at the end of the game. They decided to go completely small against the Pacers. Chet Holmgren did not have a good game 1. Chet was bad. 2 for 9 from the field. He shot that one corner 3. He bricked it. Miles Turner, who has been given horrible assignments this entire postseason just because of the matchups he's had to deal with, right? He's had to deal with Mobley and Allen for the Cavs. With the Knicks, obviously, you have to deal with Karl-Anthony Towns, who's one of the most difficult bigs to deal with in the entire NBA. You go from that to Chet Holmgren. I mean, that feels like a light matchup. I understand. Again, Miles Turner is not the best rim protector. He's good. I need to rephrase that. He's a great shot blocker. Everything else, though, inside, he struggles to finish inside. Sometimes he'll struggle grabbing rebounds against other really good bigs, okay? And he struggles in ISO game as well. The thing is, Chet's not going to do that to you. Not at all. He doesn't bring the rebounding presence that a Jared Allen or an Evan Mobley brings you, and he does not bring you the scoring and ISO presence that a Karl-Anthony Towns is going to bring you. So the Chet matchup, or hell, even an Isaiah Hartenstein matchup off the bench, because of course OKC changed that, is not going to hurt Miles Turner at all. But if you take Chet and Hartenstein out the game, it's an easy fix for Indiana. For as good and for as well as Miles Turner played in the second half, if OKC goes no big, okay, you just take Miles Turner out the game, you play Obi Toppin. And if Obi Toppin plays like he did in game number 1, okay, I love Miles Turner, right? Indiana Pacer for life, but just play Obi. Pascal Siakam is going to be big enough to grab every single rebound then. Because the biggest guy on the court for OKC when they go no big is Jalen Williams, who's 6'5". I think that gets forgotten about a lot because J-Dub has played the 4 a lot in pretty much his entire NBA career. And there were games early in the season where both Hartenstein and Chet were out, where OKC said, you know what, all right, we're just going to play J-Dub at the 5 at points in games when they didn't want to, reach deep into their bench in terms of, get the other J-Dub, obviously out of Arkansas, or Ousmane Dieng, right? They would just go, all right, we're going to play, or Kendrick Williams, they just go J-Dub at the 5. They did that in limited spots this season, late in games. Regardless, though, right? When he's your biggest guy on the court, he's not out-rebounding Pascal Siakam. He's just not. And Siakam, 19 points in game number 1. I told you again, I thought he was going to have a monster series. Because again, I like J-Dub a lot. Siakam's just bigger than J-Dub, and he's going to score on Jalen Williams. He just will, Andrew Nembhard did a great job guarding Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. It's what I expected. I didn't think Nesmith was going to draw that matchup just because of the lingering injuries. And Nembhard has played with Shai a lot. Obviously, they're both on Team Canada. But the no big lineup for OKC, I don't think it works for them. They went double big a lot. And if they go double big, I said this before game 1, I'm going to say it again, that creates for a lot of problems for OKC if they go double big. It just does. Because if you go double big, then Chet has to guard Siakam. Or Chet has to guard Miles Turner. If you have him against Miles Turner, then okay, you just put Siakam on Hartenstein, and that's a easy blow by every single time for Pascal. Or if he's going to shoot the 3 ball like he can, then Isaiah Hartenstein has to play the perimeter. So, and I think Mark Dejanhall has seen that, so that's why OKC's not going to go double big, because it just doesn't help them. Their best lineup, though, is likely just with Chet out there. They're going to get killed going no big against this team, because the Thunder lose more with Chet off the court than the Pacers do with Miles Turner off the court. They just do. They can't grab a rebound, because unlike the Pacers, OKC doesn't play a traditional 4 with Chet. The Pacers play a Pascal Siakam. J-Dub is really just a small forward who's playing big. He is kind of an undersized small forward, too. He's 6'5", right? Luke Dort's, 6'3"? Shai's 6'5", 6'6". Obviously, he plays the 1, but you don't have a good rebound getter, right? And every one of the Pacers rebounds well. Aaron Nesmith rebounds well. Hell, Tyrese Halliburton has been rebounding the ball really well. And obviously, Siakam is going to be the rebound getter. Hell, look at that spot where Nembhard misses the 3 at the end of the game, right? They're down by 3. Nembhard misses with a minute to go. He barely catches the rim. Siakam, right underneath the basket, grabs that rebound, puts it back in. It's a 1-point game, right? Going double big just is not going to benefit OKC. Sorry, going no big is not going to benefit OKC. But that second half was such a Pacers-coded game. They are finally running in transition. They are not turning the ball over. I don't know how OKC is going to beat this team 4 times. And also, okay, it has been made the biggest discussion of the NBA season so far. The foul calls that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander gets. I am the biggest defender of SGA. I 100% am. Because again, I will always bring this up with SGA. SGA gets the same type of calls a Jalen Brunson gets, and Anthony Edwards gets, a Donovan Mitchell gets, all the star players in the NBA except for Luka and LeBron, because they don't get foul calls, regardless. Or hell, even Pascal Siakam. Siakam can get hacked in games, and he will not get a whistle. His whistle disappeared once he left Canada. Regardless, though, SGA just drives to the rim and attacks the rim so much better and with such a higher frequency than everybody else in the league, so that's why he gets more foul calls, okay? But the thing is, and I understand again, there's a spot, about 6 minutes left in the game. SGA pumps, and he leans right into Nesmith. I didn't think it was a foul. It wasn't a foul. But that's a call SGA was getting in the Denver series. That's a call he was getting early in the regular season as well. He's not getting that call anymore in the NBA Finals. It allows Indiana to play more physical defense. It just does, SGA is not going to get the same foul calls he has gotten just with his mid-range game. And I've never faulted SGA for that. It's just a part of his game. That's just a part of the game of basketball at this point as well. But he's not going to get that anymore. He'll still get the foul calls, obviously driving and underneath the basket. He's going to get those, right? Because it's hard not to. But in terms of the mid-range game, yeah, SGA's whistle is gone now, I think. I just don't know how the Thunder beat this team 4 times. Because, again, I will continue to say this. Indiana played their worst possible game in game number 1. And they still won. They needed their one run, and they found it. And they won the game by 1. Tyrese Halliburton with the midi pops it, game over. His 4th buzzer beater in the postseason. Hit it against Milwaukee in Game 5. Game 2 against Cleveland on the road. Game 1 in Madison Square Garden. And he does it now in Oklahoma City as well. I've always thought the matchup does not favor OKC. In the first half, I was like, oh God, defensively, the Thunder have got him, And yeah, Indiana played a very bad first half, and the pressure out of the OKC defense, that's kind of, everything that happened in the first quarter was kind of why people thought OKC was a minus 600, or they were like a minus 700 favorite to win the series. That's why they're the biggest favorite to win the NBA Finals in a particular series in over 10 years, maybe since, I guess, 2018 -15, I guess. I think I would assume the Warriors were like -1,000 that year. I don't know. We all knew the Warriors were winning that series. Regardless, though, the defensive presence and the swiping at the ball. Obviously, Indiana was playing sloppily, and everything that got entered underneath was immediately batted down by Oklahoma City. They always had a hand in there. Second half, Indiana did not play stupid anymore, though. They really didn't, and I have got to assume Rick Carlisle is going to make the adjustment. Indiana always plays fast, but what the commentators were calling for, and it was very true. I think it was Richard Jefferson saying this. Indiana, they can still play fast, but they just need to slow down a little bit. And that's what they did in the second half, and that's why they're so successful. They were playing chaotic basketball in the first half. They weren't remaining calm under that chaos, and in the second half, that's what Indiana did best, and that's what has gotten them to the dance. So the Pacers are going to win game 2, okay? They have all the momentum in the series now, and I'm so serious. I went from Pacers in 7 now to potentially Pacers in 5. I think it might be 5, guys. I don't know. Either 5 or 6 for me. I'm thinking probably 6 now. I'm thinking the way I see this, Indiana game 1, 2, OKC probably 3, Pacers 4, OKC 5, Pacers 6. I might change my mind on game 3. I don't know. Because game 3, we've talked about this before in the Cleveland and in the New York series, right? I mean, that is the most important game, because if Indiana can win that game 3, which they failed to against New York and Cleveland, okay, then the sweep's coming, right? But obviously, New York and Cleveland prolonged those series by winning the game 3 and giving them some hope, obviously, before both obviously losing game 4 in Indiana. We'll see. I mean, OKC went to a deep rotation. They played AJ Mitchell. They played Aaron Wiggins, which I thought was really surprising. They played Karen Trillians for a minute. I'd assume they're going to go back to a seven-man rotation in game 2. I would assume. I think they're trying to avoid getting burnt out against Indiana, kind of like what the Knicks tried to do. They tried to go deeper into their bench. I get that was because of foul trouble, but at the same time, right, they were trying to go deeper into the bench because they didn't want to have to run with the Pacers the entire game. I understand that, but I just don't know if, Aaron Wiggins and AJ Mitchell should be playing, finals minutes right now, and Kenneth Williams, and even Isaiah Joe, right? I think they should just go 7. Casey Wallace is obviously starting. I would argue maybe Caruso should start. I don't know. But the Pacers are going to win this game because the way that they have played OKC in game 1 is just going to be better this time around. They're not going to be god-awful in the first half. They're going to shoot the ball like they always have and like they did in the second half. And they're going to say, all right, you're not shooting the 3-ball against us. We are not giving you any space in the 3-point line. We're going to guard the perimeter, and the only 3s that are going to be taken for OKC are going to come with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Trust me, Lou Dort's not going to find all those open looks again. He's not. They're just going to be better on that, right? Indiana's going to look at the box score. It's easy. One guy shot 9 threes on you and hit 5 of them. That's Lou Dort. You take away that shot. It's the only shot Lou Dort hit in game 1. Honestly, that's the only shot Lou Dort ever hits. You take away that shot, and then we say, okay, we're not allowing Chet. Well, we don't care if Chet shoots the ball. We're not letting J-Dub shoot. We're not letting Lou Dort shoot. Hell, we're not going to let Casey Wallace or Alex Caruso shoot either. We'll give them a little more space than obviously J-Dub and Dort. But really, the only good look you're going to get from the 3-point line will be if SGA beats us on the dribble and SGA steps back and he hits that 3-pointer. If he gets that, so be it. But the Pacers are going to allow Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to score 40 points every single night. The thing is, SGA himself can't win this game. He can't. He's just, again, for as good as he is, he takes 30 shots, he hits 14 of them. Indiana's going to live with that. The way the Thunder are going to beat you is because of the shooting from the entire squad and not just SGA. So I think Indiana wins game number 2. I think it's ridiculous the odds that it's at, but I'm not complaining. We're going to keep cashing on Indiana this postseason and in the finals. They are going to win the NBA championship. Tyrese Halliburton's going to cement himself as an all-time great. And the Indiana Pacers win game 2 of the NBA Finals plus 430. If you want to go more conservative, take the plus 11. But I'm taking Pacers money line. I'll probably take both. But Pacers plus 430. They win game number 2. We will see you in Indiana on Tuesday, I think, or Wednesday. We'll see you in Indiana next week. So, folks, thank y'all for watching our NBA Finals predictions here for game number 2. If you haven't yet, though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you do disagree with the pick. Folks, thank y'all for watching, and Mamba forever.